Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today I want to talk about these DOYLE Electricians Shears from Harbor Freight. I've never had a pair of dedicated electrician shears, just either scissors or regular wire, crimpers slash cutters, things like this from Channel Lock or this from Snap-on. The classic Klein style of wire stripper, and then wire stripper crimpers like this. This is from Snap-on, and Icon has a pair of these as well. So, basically I didn't see a use case for this because, if I already have other tools that are cutting wires, why do I need shears just for that purpose? So I decided to pick them up just to check them out. They're $17.99 regular price at Harbor Freight, and we all know, you can get 20-30% coupon. So if you can get these for closer to $12, $13, $14, they might be worth it. So let me kind of go over the use case and see if it's something that might be useful for your toolbox or a tool bag, especially if you're an electrician. So one nice thing, it comes with this cover that has a belt clip, so you can attach it to your tool bag, you can attach it to your belt or pocket and walk around with it. And basically it just looks like this. The main part to cut the wires is here. You can cut 10 to 22 gauge wire, which covers most sizes of wires. For me, most of my wiring work is done inside of cars, so most of the wires are probably going to be anywhere in the 12 to 16 gauge range. So something like this really works. Having a tool that is dedicated to just do one job sometimes is very, very good. Sometimes can be tedious. So what do I mean by that? If I grab something like this and I want to cut a wire, strip a wire, and then crimp a wire, it's all done in one tool. It does everything, but it doesn't do everything as well as maybe a specific dedicated tool can do. For example, when you're crimping, the leverage on this, because it's a little bit shorter, is not quite as good as the leverage on something like this. So it's easier to crimp and even cut because it's a lot longer, you have a lot more leverage. But having said that, something like this, when I first tried it out, I was actually very, very shocked, because when I went to go cut a wire, the effort is almost nothing. So you see, I'm not even barely opening this up, barely putting any pressure, and it cuts it. Whereas, a normal one, it's going to cut it very well also, but there's definitely more pressure that you're putting on there. And then the smaller the tool gets, let's see where it is here, the more pressure you tend to do. Actually, although these ones did seem to cut a little bit better than the longer ones, probably because these ones are newer and a little bit sharper than my older Snap-ons. But still, none of them cut quite as easily as that. So where do I see a use case for this? If you're cutting a lot of wire to length, this, I think, will save your hands, versus if you have to put a lot of pressure on these. This, if you're, again, cutting just, say you want to cut, 20 pieces of 6-foot wire, this, you can kind of just go assembly line it, and it's much, much, much easier. So really the use case is up to you. If you're doing a lot of wiring, and especially cutting of a lot of wire, something like this would definitely be a great addition to your toolbox. But if you're only working on a few wires at a time, you're cutting, you're crimping, things like that, then a tool like this, I think would suffice, because, if I'm doing, 5-10 wires and that's it, cutting them, crimping, putting a wire terminal, a wire terminal on there, one of these two tools is probably going to work a little bit better. Obviously, you don't have to spend Snap-on money, because Icon makes a set of these. You can find wire strippers and crimpers in every single price points. So if you think that this would be useful for you, hop onto your local Harbor Freight, pick one up. Again, $17.99 is the regular price, but I'd wait for a coupon. Thank you guys. Please like and subscribe.